All right, friends. We're going to review just a couple of things that we have learned and then going to extend what we learned about using 10 frames. And we're also going to use a 10 frame to make 10. So we're going to practice that. Okay? All right. So let's just review. What is this called? Yeah, this is a 10 frame, right? We talked about 10 frames and how we can represent numbers, and a 10 frame has how many squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It has 10 squares. Very good. And how do we use a 10 frame again? Why do we use a 10 frame? To represent. Do you remember what that word represent means? To represent means to show a number or show a quantity or a set, right? Good. So let's just review what we talked about last time. If I wanted to represent or show a quantity or show the number 6, how would I do that on my 10 frame? How many donuts would I put to represent the number 6? 6. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 donuts inside of my 10 frame. What about this number? What is this number? This is the number 8. So if I wanted to represent the number 8, then how many donuts would I have to put in my 10 frame? 8 donuts, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 donuts inside of our 10 frame. Very good. Today, what we are going to talk about is we're going to talk about how we can use a 10 frame to compose and create an addition problem, and how we can make 10. So we know that a 10 frame has 10 squares, right? And we can represent numbers 0 through 10 inside of a 10 frame. So what we're going to do is we are going to practice talking about how many more do we need to make 10. So let's start off with talking about or identifying how many donuts are inside of our 10 frame already. So how many donuts do you see here? Go ahead and count them and tell me how many donuts are inside of the 10 frame. That's right, 7. And we can count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to put 7 right here, and we're going to make an addition equation. So this is our equation. Blank plus blank equals 10. So we're going to figure out how many more do I need to make 10. So if we already have 7, right? So we have 7 donuts. How many more do we need to make 10? How many do we need to add to make 10? 1, 2, 3. So we need 3 more donuts to equal 10. Okay, so let's read that equation. 7 plus 3 equals 10. So how many more donuts do we need? We need 10 more donuts. So that's how many more we need to make 10. Let's look at another one. So how many donuts do we see here inside of this 10 frame? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We have 5 donuts, so we're going to put 5 right here because we're making our equation to make 10. So how many more donuts would we need to add to equal 10? How many blank squares are there? Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many more do we need? We need 5 more. Now let's read our equation. 5 plus 5 equals 10. So we would add 5 more donuts to have 10. Very, very good. Awesome. What we're going to do now is we are going to do a practice with making 10. So this is the activity that I assigned for us today. And what you're going to do is, it also has the instructions, but it says drag the scoops to the 10 frame. So here's our 10 frame. And we're going to use these blue scoops to make 10. So it says Nina needs to pack some ice cream scoops in packs of 10. Can you help by dragging the missing scoops into the 10 frame and then typing in the missing number? Okay, and if you don't remember,
Nina needs to pack some ice cream scoops in packs of 10.
Listen to it, okay? So let's look at it one together. Okay, so it says move the scoops into the 10 frames to make 10 and then type the missing number. So here's our equation already. So how many pink scoops do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it also tells us right here, right? So we got to grab the blue scoops and we're going to drag them and we're going to fill how many more that we need to make 10. So let's count as we drag. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many more ice creams did we need to make 10? 4. So right here we're going to type in 4 and let's look at our equation. 6 plus 4 equals 10. So how many do we have in our 10 frame now? We have 10. Nice. Let's do another one. All right. So how many pink scoops do we have in the 10 frame? 1, 2. So there are 2 here. So 2 plus, how many more do we need to make 10? Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how many blue scoops do we have? 8. So how many more do we need to make 10? We're going to type in 8. So this is our equation that we came up with. 2 plus 8 equals 10. That's our equation. Because we had 2 pink scoops and then we had to add 8 more to make 10. Very good. All right, let's do one more together and then the rest you are going to do on your own. We're going to do it together too when we meet today. So we're going to move the scoops. So how many pink scoops do we have here in our 10 frame? And since I already know that a 10 frame has 10 squares, I noticed that all of these except for 1 are filled in, but we'll count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we also have the number 9 right here. So that tells me we have 9 pink scoops. How many more do we need to make 10? Just drag it. How many more did you need to make 10? You only needed 1. So we're going to type 1. And now let's read the problem. 9 plus 1 equals 10. Very, very good. So that is what we are going to do today. So I want you to practice making 10 using your 10 frame, and we're going to come up with an addition problem to go with that. Okay? All right, well, I will hope you guys have a great Friday.